This is how the package is delivered. So I purchased a Big Y700 kit from FTDNA. Since I've been working on genealogy for various years, and through that had also taken an autosomal DNA test, I decided to do this one that looks at my paternal line going back into the remote past. This video is part 1 and we'll look at the results in part 2, when they process it and return my results. My surname is Escagedo and it originates in Cantabria, Spain. Escagedo refers to a thorn-like bush. According to forebearers, there's approximately 145 people that carry this surname, with the majority being from Spain. Spain has a website called Cuántos se llaman, and it shows that there's 118 people that carry Escagedo as a first surname and 98 as a second. Within the same family, in some instances, the surname is also spelled with a J instead of a G. So with the surname spelled with a J, there's 43 people that carry it as a first surname, and 24 as a second surname. So in total, there's 161 people that carry the surname in first place and 122 in second. It's a very rare surname and we're all related within 150 years or so, originating from the same places in Cantabria, Spain. Since this video is about Y-DNA, let's look at my direct paternal tree going back in time. I was born in Miami, Florida. My father, Eloy Escagedo Giraldi, was born in 1942 in Las Villas, Cuba, in Aguada de Pasajeros. My grandfather, Eloy Escagedo Valle, was born in Maliaño de Camargo, in Cantabria, Spain, and he immigrated to Cuba in 1930. His father, my great-grandfather, Patricio Feli Escagedo Salmón, was also born in Maliaño in 1885. My second great-grandfather, Diego Millán Escagedo Mier, was born circa 1843 in Bodepiélagos in Cantabria, Spain. My third great-grandfather, Agustín Escagedo, was likewise born in Cantabria, Spain, in Renedo de Piélagos, circa 1800. And it's at this point that I have just one document connecting him to his parents. It's one confirmation record. I'd like to have more. Agustin's father, my fourth great-grandfather, was Juan Francisco Gavino de la Riva Escagedo, born November of 1756 in Renedo de Piélagos. It's at this point that we find the de la Riva surname before the Escagedo surname. And Juan Francisco Gavino is documented in both ways, according to certain documents, sometimes as Escagedo, other times as de la Riva Escagedo. His father, my fifth great-grandfather, was Juan de la Riva Escagedo, born circa 1725 in Renedo. And his father, my sixth great-grandfather, was Juan de la Riva. And at this point, it's as far as I've been able to document my direct paternal line. Years back, using my raw file from my autosomal ancestry DNA kit, I uploaded it to the Morley Y calculator to see what it predicted my Y haplogroup to be. And my results were, as far as it would predict, R1bL2. Now, this result is shared with many modern, current men around the world, including men from Great Britain, Italy, Belgium, Romania, Spain, Sweden, and many other places. So it's not a nuanced result, but at least it places my paternal line within R1b, giving me some idea. To add some extra detail, this haplogroup possibly formed 4,400 years ago in Western Europe. And according to this article, its highest frequencies appear in Northern and Western Italians, Swiss, French, and Southwestern Germans. Recently, I also uploaded my autosomal to Clade Finder, just to see what they'd predict my haplogroup to be, and if it was any different than the Morley. And they gave me a closer in time result compared to the Morley test, RFTA 30946. And we'll compare all this when the results of the Big Y come in, of course. The heat map from the HRAS site looks at the relative frequency of my results. It shows the higher frequencies found in France and Corsica. On the phylogeographer site, they show this theoretical path, and it ends at 400 AD, which seems relatively close in time this way. Here's a timeline of my results as the haplogroup travels across time in their respective cultures and languages. Over on Family Tree DNA, there's a few features we can look at, and according to this RFTA 30946, under the haplogroup story tab, it reads that the man who's the most recent common ancestor lived about 400 AD. And currently there's two test takers that match this today, one with their earliest known ancestor from France and the other one unknown. They also have a notable connections tab, and it's interesting too. Under the ancient connections tab, the two most recent ancient relatives are Masuleo de Augusto 33, who was a man that lived between 300 and 700 CE, during the medieval age and was found in the region now known as Mausoleo di Augusto in Rome, Italy. According to FTDNA, this is a rare connection, 1 in 1,000, and only 245 customers are this closely related. The other most recent ancient relative is Rosemarkie I, an adult man who lived between 441 and 641 CE during the medieval age and was found in the region now known as Rosemarkie Cave in Black Isle, Scotland, and likewise a 1 in 1,000 connection with only 245 customers that are this closely related. Keep an eye out for part 2 when I review my results when they come in, and we'll compare it with all this and see what we learn. Thanks for watching.